It had been wild last night. She woke up feeling amazing. Can't wait to do it again, she said with that flirty smile. She didn't know someone else was listening. Someone who never imagined how much his life was about to change. Scene 1, the arrival. Liam, a young man with a kind face and gentle eyes, stood at the door of Sophie's house. He knocked softly. "Morning, Miss Sophie." He stepped into the living room. It was chaos. Empty bottles, scattered clothes, and shattered glass remnants of the night before. "I'll get started," he said with a reassuring smile. "No worries." Sophie appeared in the doorway, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Nice to meet you, Liam. Oh, and if you find anything weird, just toss it," she said with a wink, leaving Liam both confused and intrigued. Scene 2, tension builds. Hours later, Liam stood quietly surveying his work. The once chaotic living room was now spotless. "You call that clean?" "The place is still disgusting," Sophie exclaimed as she entered, her tone sharp and critical. "There's still stuff on the floor and those windows are filthy." Liam, taken aback by her harsh words, tried to explain. I cleaned everything. I guess there was just a lot to deal with after last night." "Don't you dare comment on my personal life," Sophie snapped, her voice cold. "You're my housekeeper, not my friend. Just do your job and stay in your lane. I have a date tonight. Cook something from the list and have it ready when I'm back." "Understood," she said, her eyes flashing with an icy glare. Scene 3, a stranger arrives. Later that evening, a sleek black car pulled up outside the house. The door opened and a man with charming good looks and a confident stride emerged. "Hey," he called out. "Didn't expect a new face. You must be the cleaner." Liam looked up from his task, nodding in response. "Yeah, I've been cleaning the house." "So you just hang around here? Shouldn't you be working instead of asking questions?" The newcomer raised an eyebrow, his tone laced with suspicion. "I'm just doing my job," Liam replied calmly, meeting his gaze directly. Scene 4, the mask slips. As the night wore on, Liam found himself drawn into a world of deceit and hidden motives. While cleaning the living room, he overheard Caleb on a phone call. "She's smoking hot and rich." "I'm not letting this one go," Caleb said with a smirk. "And Addison?" "Yeah, I'll see her tonight too. Gonna be wild." Liam cleared his throat, causing Caleb to turn around abruptly. "Didn't mean to overhear, but, does Sophie know you're just using her?" he asked, hoping his tone didn't betray his emotions. "Careful, kid. Getting protective." "What, you in love with her now?" Caleb scoffed. "No, I have a girlfriend. I care about Sophie. She deserves better than what you're offering her. You clearly don't know her. She plays men like it's a sport." "I'm just playing along," Caleb said with a shrug, returning to his phone call. Scene 5, the fallout. The next morning, Sophie entered the kitchen to find Liam staring intently at the floor. "What's going on?" she asked, sensing a shift in the atmosphere. "Nothing," Liam responded quickly, hiding any trace of emotion from his voice. "Caleb, he was here last night," Sophie said hesitantly. "He told me some things I shouldn't have heard. Things he shouldn't have said about you. He thinks I'm just using him for money," she confessed, her voice dropping to a whisper. "I'm sorry," Liam whispered back, reaching out to touch her hand, but she pulled away. "You've overstepped. You're just a housekeeper." "You're fired," she said, her voice shaking with suppressed tears. Understood," Liam replied, his heart sinking. Scene 6, heartbreak on two fronts. Later that day, Liam sat on a park bench, nursing a wounded heart. His dreams seemed shattered. Just then, Addison approached him, her eyes filled with a mixture of sympathy and triumph. "I can't do this, Liam," she said, her voice soft yet firm. "You have no future, no money. You can't even keep a job. You're pathetic. Just break up." "It's doing me a favor," she said with a finality that left no room for argument. Scene 7. Unexpected reunion. Several weeks later, Liam found himself standing before Sophie's door once again. He hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. "Who's there?" Sophie's frail voice called out. Taking a deep breath, Liam replied, "It's me, Liam. I was wondering if I could come in." To his surprise, the door opened to reveal a weakened yet determined Sophie seated in a wheelchair. "I was in a car accident. I'm paralyzed, from the waist down," she explained, tears glistening in her eyes. "Is anyone helping you?" Liam asked, his concern evident. "Caleb disappeared the second he saw me like this," Sophie said with a trembling voice. "He didn't care about me. He just cared about my money," she added, bitterness lacing her words. Scene 8. The walls fall. In that moment of shared vulnerability, something shifted between them. The walls Sophie had built around herself crumbled, revealing the scared and lonely woman beneath. Liam, seeing past her defenses, offered his support and understanding. "Forget the paycheck, Liam. I need someone to help me. Please. I'm not here for money. I'm here for you," he said, his eyes filled with sincerity. Moved by his genuine compassion, Sophie broke down, realizing she had found someone who truly cared for her. "But why? You have every reason to hate me," she whispered, her voice choked with tears. "I was awful to you." Liam gently cupped her face in his hands, his touch as tender as his words. "You were protecting yourself. You've been hurt. But I see you, the real you," he said, his voice unwavering. Scene 9. Healing together. Days turned into weeks filled with laughter, shared meals, and heartfelt conversations. Through it all, their bond deepened. Sophie, leaning on Liam's steadfast support, began to heal, not just physically, but emotionally too. One sunny afternoon, sitting in her garden, Sophie turned to Liam, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You make me feel whole again, Liam. I thought I'd never be happy after my accident, but I am," she confessed, her voice thick with emotion. "You stayed strong even when everyone left." "You inspire me," Liam admitted, his gaze unwavering. "My family taught me to take advantage of others. But you're teaching me how to love," Sophie whispered, her heart full. Scene 10. A new chapter. As Sophie regained her strength, she began to take small steps towards independence. One day she announced, "I hired a new housekeeper today." Liam looked up from his book, a hint of sadness in his eyes. "Oh, so you don't need me anymore?" he asked, trying to mask his disappointment. "Not as a caretaker," she replied, smiling. "But as my boyfriend? Don't you want that too?" Liam's heart skipped a beat. Overwhelmed with joy, he couldn't hold back his emotions. "Of course I do. I just worry I'll never be enough," he confessed, his voice filled with longing. "You already are." "I don't care about money anymore. I care about you," she said, her eyes sparkling with love. They embraced, sealing their love with a promise of forever. As they pulled away, Liam whispered, "I love you," and Sophie, her heart overflowing, whispered back, "I love you too." Later that day, a new housekeeper arrived. The house is a mess. "Toilet's all yours," Sophie said playfully, watching as Liam walked away, a smile gracing his lips. He was in love and life was beautiful. The end.